Hi there, Tim again. Today I'd just like to talk more about how I came to believe what I believe about God and the soul. In that I said in my last video that I don't have any religion at all. I don't follow any religion, and I do not reference the Bible. So how did I come to believe what I believe? And I have done that through Jesus. I'll talk about what I believe the background of Jesus is, and why he is still the most important teacher that we have and that we have ever had. So after Jesus was crucified, he went to the spirit world, and of course he was there for over 2,000 years. And in one thing I reference is the Paget messages in this book. There's 4 volumes of this book, and these are based on, in the early 1900s, a man named James Paget, and these are called the Paget messages. He was a medium. He lived in Washington, and Jesus and many other spirits could talk through him. James would be able to write down what the spirits were saying. So Jesus used him extensively and guided him, and just helped him be able to do that. And he did it for, I think it was about 9 years or so, 8 or 9 years. And so there's a lot of messages furthering our teachings of what happens in the spirit world and what happens to souls on earth and God. And so I use, that's a wonderful writing, wonderful teaching that I have been absorbing. And then in the spirit world, Jesus and Mary Magdalene and quite a number of other people were advancing and getting more closer to God through their soul. And Jesus and Mary were so far advanced that they were able to incarnate again to the earth. And they incarnated again in Jesus in 1962, and Mary was I think in the 70s, she incarnated. And they were born to the world just like we all are. And Jesus was they were born in Australia, and Jesus was in a Miller family, and his name was Alan John Miller. And Mary, his name is Mary Luck. And they were born just like everybody else is born, and they had a family, and they grew up, and they were influenced by that family and the world around them. And they did not know or did not recognize or did not remember that they were Jesus and Mary for quite a number of years, but eventually they did. And then they got together and started teaching what they call divine truth, and they have the website is divinetruth.com, and they teach about what they know and have experienced, and about God's love, God's laws, which is also, you could say, divine law or divine truth. And they also travel to different parts of the world. And in the last 2 years, they have traveled to Canada, to Nova Scotia. And I went and spent time with them for 3 days a time. And so I have met them. And I'm not going to go into all the reasons why I believe it. It'll become clearer or not as I do these videos and talk about what I experienced and what I not only have come to know, but have or have come to believe, but what I have come to know. Now that's just a tiny bit of everything that I'm going to talk about, because I have not experienced, I have not died, I have not been in the spirit world. I do not understand most of God's laws. I do not know them. I do not even believe most of them, because it's just a wide nature of our existence and who we are, and it's just huge, and it's too big for my little mind to take in and comprehend. But I will talk about what I have been learning and what I have been taking in, and the love of God that I'm taking in a tiny amount, and the recognition of my soul. So I just wanted to clarify that, and just so people understand, I'm not just making this stuff up. So, and I know that what I've just said may be particularly difficult to believe, but that's okay. I understand that. And if I had come across this 3 years ago without any other background, I don't know if I would have dismissed it, but it would have taken me longer to come to believe in what I've just shared with you. So this is continuing my introduction, and I thank you for listening.